श्रीमाता शरणं मम। ॐ श्री अरविन्दः शरणं मम। Supreme Lord, eternal truth, let us obey thee alone and live according to truth. Good morning, Vande Mataram. Welcome all of you. Namaste. The topic of discussion for this morning will be on preparing for spiritual life. Very interesting topic, of course. We are going to discuss today on preparing for spiritual life. So two lives normally visibly we have seen in the normal vision. One staying in the worldly life, staying in the world, that is actually ordinary life, sansar and all. Secondly, we have seen the life in the ashram. So how we are going to prepare for those two lives? Already we have known from the quotation itself, in the sansar we are staying, in the world we are staying. That is actually a lot of ups and downs we are facing in everyday life, because this is sansar. We are staying inside the family, we have got our family and children, many ways, some difficulties and abuses, it is coming again and again. So then the life is full of ups and downs. And the second life, when we switch about the ashram life, this is actually a easier life, because it is only solely intended for the sadhana purpose, for the spiritual purpose. So comparing this ordinary worldly life or sansar life, the second type of life, that is ashram life, is little bit convenient for sadhana. Anyway, mostly we'll see we'll touch upon this worldly life, what is the problem and the lacuna, and how to go on preparing for this life. Sri Aurobindo, of course, we will discuss everything from Sri Aurobindo's writings today on his philosophy. Sri Aurobindo quotes initially, the best way to prepare oneself for the spiritual life, the best way to prepare oneself for the spiritual life, when one has to live in the ordinary occupations and the surroundings. This is totally ordinary, nothing special, nothing has been predestined or pre-arranged. Ordinary occupations and surroundings is to cultivate an entire equality and detachment and samatha of the Gita as described, with the faith that a divine is there and a divine is there, that Sarva Vasudevamaya, so divine is everywhere. Divine at every time is there to for help and guidance. This assumption should be there, this idea must be there. And secondly, the divine will at work in all things, even though at present under the conditions of the world of ignorance. Entirely we have seen this world where we are staying, this is the world of ignorance, world of tussle, world of class, world of strife. So this grayness, this failure is there inside. This is entirely a world of ignorance. There the divine will is there every time, every moment and everywhere. Beyond this, there is light and ananda towards which the life is going. Excluding this life of this ignorance, world of ignorance, something is there behind, beyond. That is this is the light and ananda towards which the life is working. Life is good. This evolutionary process is actually letting the healing. The process is there. We are actually moving forward. Life is working, but the best way for their advent and foundation of the individual being and the nature is to grow in the spiritual equality. That concern must be taken care of. In the spiritual equality, we are moving forward, we are proceeding forward, we are going forward. That systematically we must listen and we must remember. This world also solve your difficulties about things unpleasant and disagreeable. Some problems, not some, many problems will come, and these are actually unpleasant and disagreeable. Still, then that difficulties are there in many ways in the each step and progress of each step towards the progress of life and spiritual path. The all unpleasantness should be faced with the spirit of the samatha, that equality, equanimity must be there, that the samatha spirit must be there, and all this unpleasantness, undisagreeableness must be faced smilingly with samatha. And again, here in the quotes here, very interestingly, when one is living in the world, one can't do as in the ashram. So that is a different aspect. That is a separate aspect. Everything has been prefigured. This is has been these processes are provided. Everything all are arranged in a very amicable manner. So one has to mix with others in the ordinary life and keep up outwardly at least the ordinary relation with the others. This is the ordinary life, this is the pain, this is the lacuna, that is the thing we have to do. The important thing is to keep the inner consciousness open to the divine. That is the major factor. Because ashram, that is a chosen sphere. Here till everything is haphazard. Open to the divine in the inner consciousness and grow in it. That is the most important thing and the most unavoidable thing that must be on. This is the thing must be stick to. We must be cling to. As one does that more or less rapidly according to the inner intensity of sadhana. Nothing really depends upon the external activities or the superficiality. Intensity of sadhana and attitude towards the other will change. If that consciousness is inner, if you are open, if something is there inside you clinging to the truth, so by the way, step by step, there will be more opening towards the divine, more opening. This all will be seen more and more in the divine, and the feelings, actions, etc., will more and more be determined. But thing is that we have something. The consciousness must be there, and their opening must be there, not by the old external reactions, but by the growing consciousness within you. So that is the things depending upon the consciousness, and the things depends upon the opening and how the consecration rather. Again, Sri Aurobindo quotes here very beautifully. Sri Aurobindo quotes, the only way to escape from it means the difficulty which we are facing from your relatives, others, one that of the intervenes in as an obstacle from relatives, from kith and kin, from friends. Many ways these obstacles, these are difficulties are coming, and so sadhana becomes getting hampered. Sadhana is facing with odds, and surroundings are also unfavorable. For that, to escape from all these unfavorable surroundings and difficulties in sadhana, one has to escape from it to be able to live oneself in the inner being. That is the most requirement. And anyway, entire thing depends upon the inner being and your opening towards the higher consciousness, which becomes possible when the responsiveness and the luminosity of which you speak in your letter increases. Two things must be there. That is will be in the upgraded of our states, and of course it is the increasing level, that is responsiveness and the luminosity, and constantly aware of your inner being and live in it. That is the major factor. That is the maximum need what is expected from the sadhana actually. The outer becomes an instrument and means of communication and action of the in the outer world. This outer consciousness, this outwardness will be only an instrument and a means of communication and action in the outer world. It is then possible to make the relations with the people and outside, and from tie or necessary reactions. So one can determine from within. From within, the decision has to be taken. The witnessing must be taken. Must be done from the within, and from within, one can determine from within one's reaction or absence of reaction. That is the there, because action and reaction, God's will or what is against it, it is only determined from the inner attitude. Means it will be determined from the when the mind is actually when the psychic is prominent and mind is pure. With the purity of mind and the prominence of psychic, everything will be can be decided, can be determined. So there is a fundamental liberation from the extreme nexuses, extreme fundamental liberation from the external nexuses. Externally, there is a nexus between all odds, many things, and there are in nexus. Of course, if one wills to do so, if that willingness is there, opening is there, that determination is there, things can be done. Again, Sri Aurobindo quotes very interestingly the life of samsara, what we are doing and where the process by which we are going. The life of samsara is the nature of field of unrest. Everything is almost unrest. Everything you find turbulence, you find classes, tribes, disturbances, field of unrest. This one is samsara. To go through it the right way, one has to offer one's life and action to the divine. So entirely that consciousness must be there. Divine is there to guide, to take care. He is there to, always with us, everywhere. So one's life and action must be offered to the divine and pray for the peace in the peace of the divine within. So for that peace and purity, that equality, for that everything must be offered and everything must be prayed for the peace of the divine within. When the mind becomes quiet, this is the already before some time we kept discussing on it. When the mind is quiet, one can feel the divine mother supporting the life and put everything into her hands. Again, we have got in our yoga, this integral yoga, that is the presence and the guidance of the divine mother. So when we are little bit open and our mind becomes quiet, we become silent, we can feel the divine mother, provided there is a consecration and opening to the mother, supporting the life and put everything into her hands. Again, that is a peace is never easy to get in the life of the world. In the entire worldly life, it is difficult to acquire the peace, to get the peace. Peace is never easy to get in the life of the world, and never constant. Even if it is coming sometimes, it is never constant. That consistency is lacking. Unless one lives deep within and beyond the external activities and as only a surface front of being. External activities simply stay like example you can get simply staying as the lotus that lives staying in the water but getting untouched with the water. That condition must be there. So lives deep within and beyond the external activities as only a surface front of being. Then again, Mother steer in the quotes everywhere in reminding enter. One can enter into the sadhana to remember the divine always. That is the precondition to remember the divine always, because for us who are leading the spiritual life, divine is all for him. Remember the divine always. Taking the difficulties as to be possessed through a prey constantly. That like Kunti we have remembered what the Sri Krishna provided one option to ask something. Then she is asking for the sorrows. Why? You can ask, take anything because you are my relative. I can give you anything. No, 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 not necessary. Because if I think ask for anything else, then I will be detached from you. I will go out of you. If that sorrow is there every time it is coming, then I will be very much conscious that at least I will pray you in the form of pray you the divine in form of you, and seek the divine help and protection and ask for the opening of the heart and consciousness to the supporting divine presence. That is the great thing. Again, Sri Aurobindo will go a little bit into the ashram life because this is figured. It is easier to feel the presence in the atmosphere of the ashram because her presence is there within 10 nautical miles radius, around 18 kilometers radius. Nobody can breathe but the mother and then outside, but that is only initial difficulty. Sometimes that must be overcome by the steadiness in the call and a constant opening to the influence. The force is there in the atmosphere, force of the mother, force of Lord, master, it is there, their help is there. So that that can be received in the right way in the spirit of self-giving, openness, confidence. So it all depends upon that. No regular rules and regulations are there. Everybody is free. That freedom has been provided by the Mother and Sri Aurobindo. Thing is that the push to go away from ashram must not be there, even if there is some experiences there. So ashram, and this is the get or thing.